Welcome to my podcast. I'm Simon DeVisser, and this is Mark Coop.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
My name's Mark Coop, and I live in the Cove. A husband, a father, and got 2 kids, and one is in the PLP program, so that's why I'm here, to see his project and all the others. Yeah.
What's your greatest accomplishment?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, greatest accomplishment. I would say my relationships. Yeah, I say like relationships with people, that's the hardest thing, like to maintain good, healthy relationships. It's the most enjoyable, satisfying thing in life if you have good relationships. But it takes a lot of work. You have to, it requires a great deal of selflessness, which can be difficult in our culture.
What do you do for work?
I run a youth organization called Youth Unlimited, and it's a nonprofit. So our focus is on providing holistic care to vulnerable kids, so ages 10 to 24. Yeah, so it's like kids who are vulnerable or kids who are at higher risk with fewer supports in their life. So we look for those kind of kids, and then we provide opportunities for them to grow and mature. And I think it's like forced me to pick my head up and look at the needs around me of other people. I think it's easy for people to get selfish and just focus on themselves and focus on, making lots of money and buying a bigger house and getting a nicer car and all that stuff that we think will satisfy us if we go after those pursuits. And those things can be fine, but I think but working with youth, I've realized that that maybe there's a different way to live, and that's by serving other people. And if you take your eyes off yourself and put them on other people and think of others ahead of, like, before yourself, then you're going to find real joy and satisfaction. Christmas is an interesting time because that's when some people get that. They go like, "Oh, I'd rather give to somebody than just receive." There's more joy in giving to someone else than to just receive everything. And I think working with youth and running an organization that's focused on caring for other people, it like keeps me in that frame of mind of like living a selfless life and focusing on others. And I'm not going to make millions of dollars doing it. It's nonprofit work, but it's super satisfying, and I wouldn't do anything else, honestly. So, yeah.
Going back to youth,
Yeah.
What were you like growing up as a child?
I was a bit of a yahoo for sure. Like, I like messing around, practical jokes and things like that. Making people laugh was a big thing for me. I love sports and like I would try anything to try and get good at anything, sports-wise. I wasn't very good academically. I didn't really give it my all. But I was like fun-loving kid. Like I was a bit of an idiot, but I wasn't like out to cause harm to anyone. But I just liked to have fun. I always had friends and always goofed around but I cared about other people. Like I genuinely, my parents fostered kids for many years, so they'd bring kids into our home, and they were like pretty tough kids and kids in trouble with the law and stuff like that. And so growing up, I always had like younger foster brothers and sisters. And I think that's why maybe I'm doing the work I'm doing as part of it is, I learned to care about other people outside my family, which so even though I was a bit of a jackass, I did genuinely care about people. I was just maybe bored and would do stupid things to alleviate boredom. But, yeah.
If you would have tried hard academically, where do you think you would have ended up?
That's a good question. I don't know. My track was to go and teach in the high school setting, but this job opportunity to work with a nonprofit came along. I'm not sure I'd be anywhere different. I think I'd still be here. I'd just be a smarter version of me. Probably.
Say you didn't grow up with foster
Yeah.
other children.
Yeah.
How do you think you would have turned out differently?
Yeah. I think it's possible I might have been in a school system, like working in a high school system. It's just having foster kids in the home opened my eyes to the needs that are out there, and just helped me realize that, like, there are kids who go to bed hungry, wake up hungry. There's kids who've been traumatized and locked in closets for weeks on end, and like, there's some horrible stories out there, and they happen all around. It's just people aren't even aware of it. So it opened my eyes to that, to the needs that are out there. So, my parents fostered like 24 kids in the time I was there. So I heard a lot. There's a lot of stories there of like real tragic stories, but my parents gave them a chance for a better life. So, that's why I say I think I'm doing what I'm doing, because of that. So it helped me sort of pick my head up out of the sand and go like, man, there's real needs. Like even the North Shore, it's a beautiful place, and it seems like everybody's got their act together. But there's a lot of terrible stories. There's kids who live in the forest and in the creeks and stuff like that. There's lots of couch surfing. The youth safe house has had 250 visitors, North Shore kids, who needed a safe place. In 1 year, 250 youth. So there's like a lot that goes on. There's a lot of like sex trafficking and gang recruitment and stuff that happens in places like the Lonsdale Key. And so there's like things that happen under the surface that stay hidden a little bit, but it's, so we look for kids like that and help them out. Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Yeah, you're welcome.